Brandon.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new Friday night edition of Legally Armed America Friday Night Live. We've done this in the past in a little bit different way. Definitely different than what I'm doing it tonight. I'm trying out a ton of new stuff, new software, new camera angles, new lighting, you name it, I'm doing it. So there's probably going to be some bugs tonight. We're probably going to do some things wrong. I'm probably going to do some things wrong. There ain't no we in here. So bear with me. Bear with me is all I got to say, because there's liable to be some things that go wrong in here tonight. And when they do, I just ask for your patience, because I am literally learning this new stuff, this new software, everything. First of all, can you guys hear me okay? And I guess that's a stupid question if I'm asking that, because if you can't hear me, you don't know what I'm asking. So can you hear me? Okay, good. You guys are responding. Okay, good. I was like, all right, well, if I'm asking them and they can't hear me, how in the hell are they going to know that I'm talking? Because they can't hear me. So I typed it in there. Welcome, everybody. I will take one moment to try to welcome a bunch of people in the room. As I said, totally different type of software. Those of you guys that have been on a lot of my live feeds on Friday nights will recognize, or I guess not recognize, the fact that we are doing some things a little bit different. The cool thing is I'm using a totally different piece of software that's going to allow me to now interject some of the videos that we're talking about, some of the pictures that we're talking about. I can have additional guests in here. In fact, the count that I have, I think I can have as many as 8 guests in here. So I'm going to try to start having some guests in here to try to give you guys a little bit of a different feel of what I'm doing on a Friday night. I don't always like it to be just me, because I'm sure you guys get tired of that sometimes. So I'm gonna do my best to try to get some folks in here every now and then. And look, I'll be real straight with you guys. I'm probably, oh, by the way, drink a beer if you got it. This is my second beer. Got something cold to drink, you got whatever you like to drink, doesn't have to be alcohol, whatever, join us in. Always happy to have people in here to kind of relax and kind of wind down a little bit. Hope you're at home. If you're going somewhere, please don't drink unless you have a designated driver, or you're not going anywhere. I want to make sure that going forward, I do some pretty cool stuff with a lot of the viewers out there. Unfortunately, I've not been able to involve the viewers a ton, and you guys have been really good to me. I want to make sure that I somehow another return that. So what we're going to do every single Friday night that I do a live stream, we're going to give something away. It may be, and maybe you don't care, but it may be one of my books. It may be one of my Legally Armed America AR-15 magazines. It may be, I have some really cool mag pouches from Advanced Warrior Solutions. Maybe give you mag pouches. Might be t-shirts. Some of my t-shirt designs that I have. Might be some of my baseball caps. We're going to pick one person every single live stream and give at least something away. Just my way of saying thanks. But also, in addition to that, we'll probably bring one or two of you guys in during the live stream, because since I can't have as many as 8 guests, I don't know if I want to have a total of 8, because I think we'd be talking on top of each other. But I think it would be cool to have, 1, 2, 3 guests, something like that. I think it'd be neat to do that. It'd be fun to do that. I mean, let's face it, guys. Everybody's changing the way they consume their content right now, right? We don't set our TVs to go sit down at 7 o'clock and watch whatever channel's on, because we can DVR it, right? A lot of that stuff has kind of shifted, and you rarely were watching stuff live on television anyway. Even news is not always live. We're totally live right here. I mean, this is completely live. Everything we do, all the screw ups that I make, that's all live. I can't go back and edit that and take that out. So I think it gives everyone a bit of a feeling that you're participating in something as it's happening right then. And I like that too. I mean, I appreciate that kind of stuff myself. So I'm trying to do my best to try to bring these live streams to you guys on a Friday night from now on, if I can. Again, those of you who've been following me for a long time will remember that I've been doing live streams. I used to do them every single Friday night at 7 o'clock. And I just got away from that. You know what I mean? Life gets in the way sometimes. Um, I would first like to welcome all of the old viewers who have been watching Legally Armed America for a long time. And I want to give another special thanks to all the new viewers out there. Here in the last month, 2 months, I've got a lot of new viewers, a lot of new viewers. And I want you guys, if you're not familiar with what we do here with the live stream, because I haven't had so many of them, I want you to understand that this is very important to me to do this. And I really enjoy engaging the viewers out there. That's a big deal to me. It's a lot of fun to me. And I get a lot out of it. In fact, what I typically will do is I will go out there at, let's say after the live stream. And for those of you that don't know, I have a special needs son. So I will bathe him and put him down. And while I'm laying down with him as he goes to sleep, I will go back through the live stream and watch it as it takes place, because YouTube has a pretty cool feature that if you want to look at the live chat, you can actually watch the whole thing as it was progressing during the chat. So I'll mute myself because I don't want to hear myself again, but I'll go back and read all the comments because it's interesting to me. I enjoy the side conversations that you guys have on the side and all that. That's really a lot of fun to me. I get enjoyment out of that. And again, I don't want to understate the fact that it's interesting, because y'all will have comments that I'm like, I didn't know that, or something that I hadn't thought of. So it's pretty cool how when you can engage that external component of what you're doing. I live in this bubble where I'm always trying to put videos out and do my thing. And it's neat to touch, some of my viewers and have them touch me back. I mean, that sounds really freaking nasty, doesn't it? But you know what I mean? Virtually, right? Where we get to make that connection. So it's really cool. So I do appreciate that. And I want you guys to know how much I do appreciate the live streams. They're very important to me, and I get way more enjoyment out of a live stream than I do any of the recorded stuff that I upload on a regular basis. Let's see real quick. And again, if you got beers or whatever you drink or smoke or whatever, I don't care. Just don't do anything stupid. In a couple of weeks, I will be in South Carolina. Palmetto State Armory is flying me out there. I've taken an interest to Palmetto State Armory, and it's one of those things, those of you guys who follow my channel will know that it's not that I'm like, I'm not removed from the whole sponsorship thing. I have my own set of sponsors. I have people who take care of me. This is not my full-time job, but I have a lot of people in the industry that I've gotten to know over the years who are really good to me and take care of me. Arms Corps Ammunition, for instance. They have been my ammunition sponsor for, probably 10 years now. I call them up, tell them I'll be doing a bunch of reviews on, say, 9mm or whatever, and they'll send me 3,000 rounds of 9mm. They've been really good to me. It's people like that who have made it possible for me to do a lot of the things that I do. But I seek these people out. In other words, I'm going to say this sarcastically, but I mean it in a playful way. Olight. Anybody that has an Olight flashlight or weapons light or whatever, got no problem with it. They're just not my brand. Those people I felt like I almost needed to report them for stalking, because those people would email me with the worst freaking English. And it was always Betty or Bill or Sarah. But Betty, Bill, and Sarah could not speak proper English. And they were always wanting to send me lights, always wanting to give me a light, wanting to pay me a little bit of money to do their lights. Hey, do a review on a light and we'll pay you this much money and all that. You can go back and look at all my videos. There ain't one video of me doing a review on an Olight. And part of the reason why is because I'm not real big on pushing the Chinese stuff. Again, hey, I am not this, I'm anti-China, but look, let's face it. If you want to go through life buying everything that has nothing to do with China, it's going to be a lonely road. There's a whole lot of stuff out there that's made in China, even if it's just the glass in an optic or something like that. So it's not necessarily that, although I obviously prefer pro-American and to buy American, made in America. It's more along the lines of I've heard bad things about their stuff. So Olight is something that I've kind of stayed away from. Believe me, I probably could have paid my mortgage with what Olight wants to pay. So I'm not really into that kind of thing. However, if somebody has a product that I have used and I like the product, I will typically seek them out and say, hey, I do this. I don't know if you're aware of what I do on YouTube or I have a show on Fox 29 down here in Louisiana. I'll tell them, look, you may or may not know what I do, but this is what I do. And I'd really like to, work something out with you. I like your product. I'm a fan of it. I use it. I'm already a user. So it's a genuine, grassroots thing where I already like it and it's organic. So a lot of my relationships have started like that and have really continued like that. Again, Armscore Ammunition, been a fan of their Rock Island Armory 1911s for a decade. So I've just developed a good relationship with them. And where am I going with this? PSA, Palmetto State Armory. I'm late to the party. I know that. I realize that. A lot of people have pointed that out in my videos, my more recent video reviews of a couple of their rifles. I never had any experience with them. It's not that I didn't want to. It's that I didn't feel like I needed to. I had access to the Daniel Defenses. I'm a big fan of Daniel Defense. I have several of their rifles. Wyndham Weaponry, huge fan of Wyndham Weaponry. You talk about an entry level up to a upper level tier of quality, workmanship. Wyndham Weaponry, awesome rifle. So I've got my share of brands that I already do business with and that I like. So I wasn't seeking anybody else. Ran into these guys, Palmetto State, a couple of times, heard some things about them. And in the past, admittedly, there were some things that they had issues with. But as I got to know these guys, the issues that they had were really growing pains. They were not prepared to grow at the rate that they were actually growing, and they missed some things. They dropped the ball on some things, and they admit that. They're not going to tell you that they always thought they were the greatest or the best or perfect or whatever. But they have really upgraded what they do in so many ways. From a customer service center standpoint, when you call now, you actually get somebody within the United States that's answering the phone. They've really beefed that up to handle customer service. I don't feel like that's as necessary anymore because now they've beefed up their quality control quite a bit. And they've actually brought a lot of what they did in-house. In other words, when you subcontract out a lot of stuff and you're going in many cases to either the lowest bidder or close to the lowest bidder, you get what you get. You know what I mean? They've brought a lot of those functions in-house, a lot of them. And their rifles it's the beauty of it, it's all American made stuff now. They're not buying Chinese stuff or Mexican stuff or anything that's made outside of the United States. It's all American made stuff. And what really got my attention, and I know this may not matter to some of you out there, but what really got my attention is if you go to their website, I don't know if it's on the front of the page or in their about section, maybe they have like a history section or something like that. You will find somewhere on that website their mission statement. And their mission statement is to get as many AR-15s into law-abiding gun owners' hands in America as humanly possible because of the Second Amendment. That's huge to me. A company that's designing their mission statement around the Second Amendment and because of the Second Amendment, that's huge to me. A lot of people out there, well, hey, our mission statement is something along the lines of, we want you to be able to protect your family and we want you to hunt or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like one of those, they not really, heart's not in their mission statement. And I feel like Palmetto State Armories is. So my point is I'm going out there. They're flying me in 2 weeks to go out there and I'm staying for a whole week. I'm going to get some content out there, some, video. I'll probably do some live streams from out there. I don't know if I'll do it directly from their headquarters, but because of this new software, that's part of the reason why I'm getting I got this new software that I'm broadcasting with tonight, is so that I can actually take some of the videos and plug them in while I'm doing a live stream so you can see that stuff. So I can be on the road and still do a live stream that has quality content to it. And we'll do some of the video stuff later. I'll show you guys how I'll do some of that here in a little bit. What I'd like to do now, if you guys are okay with that, I would like to recognize some of you that are in here because there's a ton of you in the room right now. And that's the only thing I miss from the YouTube stuff is I don't see. Oh, here's one thing I can do. I'm going to pin this. I want y'all to see this. Okay, this is kind of cool. Steel Corp says, legally own America. Are you from Southern or Northern Louisiana? That's kind of neat that I can actually grab your stuff. In fact, here's a friend I want to put on here. Cassidy Phillips. This is one of my guys from right down the street over here. He's in Lake Charles, Louisiana, right where I am. I need a +1 for the trip. Yeah, man, come on. I mean, I know they wouldn't care. It's one of those things, a neat feature that I can take your comments and I can feature some of the comments in there. And that's neat because sometimes, again, as I stated earlier, many of you are providing quality content and feedback. And sometimes you may even correct me on something that I'm not aware of. And this gives me the opportunity to put that out there for everybody to see. And maybe if I'm not even talking about that particular topic, I can still post that comment and at least give me a chance to, continue that conversation and pull it from the comment section and put it on screen. So that's kind of cool. I like that. This is going to be a neat deal. I'm really looking forward to this new software. I'm going to scroll way up here to the top. I don't know if you guys see, that's the only thing, like I said, I can't see the old YouTube. I could see how many people were on here. I have no idea how many people are on here. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I cannot. Let's see. I'm going to go through some of the names and just call you guys out. And I appreciate you joining us. Mike Stewart, the Patriot Rock 2, Jacob Rayner Fisher, Sir Salts a Lot, the Division Agent, got that. Ralph McDaniel. Let's see, go down here. Back from the Dead, Be Vegan Now, Richard Dakin. Let's see, let me scroll down a little bit more. Jeremy Hess. I'm sorry, my eyes are really absolutely horrible. John Hayden, M&G Wood. Let's see, The Blog. I'm surprised you were able to find that name, The Blog. Nobody else had it. Wow. Black Bruce Wayne. What's up? Black Batman, right? I assume if you're the Black Bruce Wayne, you're probably the Black Batman. Let's see. Antonio Diaz. What's up? Heist Mercy. Let's see. Antonio Diaz, Tommy Tactical, Black Bruce Wayne. Sorry. That's a cool name. Chewing Bubblegum. John Montgomery. 545 by 39. Wow. Dorzak, M1A2 Abrams Tank. Nice. I like your name, bro. Steel Corpse. Let's see. Daniel Waters. What's up, man? W Hayes 0903. Minnie Trout. Let's see here. Cassidy Phillips again. What's up, buddy? Derek, how's it going, man? And let's see where we're at here. Daniel Price. Anthony Graves. Let's see, Verlaine. And if I mispronounce something, I apologize. Timbo Holmes, Dylan Rose, Charlie Blanchard, I saw. Let me come back down. Wow, that's too many for me to even name. So I apologize that I don't have time to go through all these, but I will try to dive in here a little bit and do that. I'm going to start from the bottom real quick. DC, Anthony DeGazzi, J Dub, Kevin Hidalgo, Photo Eye Park, Jennifer LaFontaine, and I mentioned M&J Wood, Antonio Diaz, mentioned you as well, Waylon K, California, Victor Alberto Diaz Saldano, and Randy Bowen. Elijah Hunter, I recognize that name. Good to see you back. I see a lot of new names and I see a lot of old names, so it's good to see everybody. So anyway, I will be doing some cool stuff with PSA. I'm excited about that. I'm genuinely excited about that. Sometimes you just have these things and you look forward to. I'm not going to lie, guys. In the gun industry, some of these trips that we make they're not what you think. Look, I'm going to mention one real quick and then we'll move on. SHOT Show. Don't buy into the hype. I go to SHOT Show because it's business. And truthfully speaking, the first day or two, I enjoy it. But SHOT Show should be about 2 or 3 days, and that's it. I am so whipped and tired of that place by the time it's time to go. I've had enough, So some of these trips, we probably don't get the amount of enjoyment. And again, to be truthful, the first time you go, yeah, you probably have a pretty darn good time the whole time. The second year you go back, you're thinking it's going to be just as much fun, and it's really not. So don't buy into the hype. But this PSA trip, I'm super excited about. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I do believe I'm going to have some good content, come back with hopefully a stronger relationship with those guys, and I'm really excited about that. Let's see. Trying to get some of you guys post another comment out there. You're right. This is a good comment. Sean Logan says YouTubers make SHOT Show look like a fashion show. Dude, not me. You see what I got right here? T-shirts and blue jeans and work boots is what you'll find me in whenever I get over there. Maybe tennis shoes, maybe some sneakers this year, because I'm getting a little old, and I ain't gonna lie. My area at work boots are been kicking my butt here lately. Bad, really bad. Let's see. Here's another one. Jennifer Fontaine says, I've heard that about SHOT Show from many people. Yeah, it's just when you go, you're like, yeah, this was cool. And then you kind of look around and you remind yourself that it was cool, and it doesn't suck. I don't want you to think that. But if you've got families that you actually like, I can't wait to get back home to my son and my wife, So, I mean, it's like, yeah, you're ready to move on. Let's see. I'm going to continue to just post some of you guys' comments. Danielle Waters, what's up? Pro Action Defense. What part of Central Florida? I'm just putting that out there so you guys can kind of push your conversation a little bit higher up. A little bit about what's going on with me. Okay, you probably have seen some changes. You've probably seen a lot more videos from me here lately. For those of you that don't know, I have a retail store and a construction company down here in South Louisiana, and we also have a special needs son. And my special needs son needs 24-hour care. He can't take care of himself, and he would never live on his own. He has to have somebody supervising him. Well, last August, almost a year ago, we lost our last caregiver. My son is getting older. He's 13 now. He'll be 14 in November. And he's getting to that age where he's getting bigger. And he's not a big kid, but he is getting bigger. And a lot of our caregivers before were, younger girls, teenage girls, college age girls, and stuff like that. And we've had some great, caregivers for my son. But unfortunately, we lost our last one in August of last year and have not been able to retain another one. And that's been real problematic. Luckily, because I own my own business, that I'm able to do some things that can still accommodate my son. So I've essentially become his caregiver, which I'm happy to do. But somebody still has to pay the bills, right? So I'm in the process right now and I'm not doing this because of this, but the timing worked out right that somebody approached me to buy my retail store and my construction company. So from a timing standpoint, it was kind of like a blessing where it just worked out. It was one of those things where you're like, okay, this is good. This is just, the timing was what it was supposed to be. So I am selling my business. I'm going to stay on as a minority owner. I'm excited about that because I enjoy the guy who's buying my business. He's an older friend, or an old friend. He's younger than me, but he's a good person, good guy, good family man. And I know he will do well. And I'm very proud of my business. I've had it for 20 years. So it's hard for me to give that up because I've worked really hard for it. Nevertheless, I'm doing that. And I have already been working half days to take care of my son here lately. But what I'm trying to do is shift my focus, which is going to be from my retail store, my construction company, to doing more videos, putting more videos out there and doing more content and things like that so that you guys can see all of that. And I appreciate that, California. You're exactly right. We adapt and keep moving. That's why I posted that up there. I like that. I'm excited because the Legally Armed America stuff is a true passion project of mine. It's funny. A lot of these guys out there who do the same thing that I do, they do it for a living. They make a lot of money off of it. They have monetized what they do. They have tons of sponsors. I know I've seen some of you guys have made the comment that, thank you for not selling products at the beginning of your video and all that. Well, don't think that I'm not going to have to do that at some point. My friends out there that do it now, they do it because that's their form of living and they have to devote that much time to that. I will get to a point where I have to devote that much time to what I'm doing. I just need to bump up my numbers on YouTube to where I'm attracting more of a base. And at some point, this is going to become I guess you can call it my job. Now, I'm an older person. I'm 54 years old, if you guys don't know that. So I'm close enough to be able to do like an early retirement, if you want to call it that. So it's not the end of the world. I'm not phasing out or anything like that. But I like to be able to focus more on what we're doing. Because I do feel like with the condition of our economy, our state of affairs in the United States right now, and obviously the condition of the Second Amendment and the attacks that we're getting from every possible angle right now, it's going to be even more important for guys who do what we do to try to get the word out and try to mobilize a lot of people, whether it be from a grassroots level or whatever. So I'm really hopeful of that. Of course, those of you that don't know, I'm the state director. I like to say I'm co-director of the state of Louisiana for Gun Owners of America, because Josh, and I don't know if Josh is watching, Josh watches some of the videos. Josh is who I'm supposedly relieving as the state director, but thankfully he has kind of stayed on. He calls himself a deputy director, but I call us co-directors because we still both do the job. You know, we're the two of us are doing the job of one person right now. So I'm doing that also. So, you know, there'll be more trips to the state capitol to try to fight for our Second Amendment rights and things like that, speak on committees and things of that nature. So I see a lot of what I do shifting more where you guys will probably see more, but you might see, it may feel different. Like I'm doing something different. And that's why, because that's for my family, right? I think most of us do the things we do because of our family. And from a timing standpoint, this worked out good for me. So I felt like I needed to say that because you guys may have seen some changes on my channel and some things that I'm doing differently. The good news is everything that I'm doing, I'm trying to make it an improvement, not a ratchet back of what I do, but an improvement and an increased level of push as far as what I do. Now, some of the, let me give you guys some shout outs real quick because I do appreciate everything you guys are doing here. Let's see. John Buck stretched out, Stephen Owen, Mass Effect, Mr. F&H. What's up, guy? Let's see. Where was that? I just moved. God dog it. I feel bad. It moved. Oh, here we go. Leapin' Lepin, Stephen Nodal, or Nodal. Sorry if I mispronounce you guys' names. Donald Livingston, Don Christensen, Mark Bean, The Honest Truth, Kim Reed, Sean Logan, I think G. Thompson. Again, guys, thanks for joining. All right, I'm gonna try to flex a little bit. And okay, now I've got the numbers up here. I didn't have the numbers before. The numbers are up here now, so that's kind of cool. Wow, that's weak. There's 4 likes on there. I'm joking when I say that. There's 4 likes on Facebook. This is the other thing that I can do. This is kind of neat. I hate Facebook, but this simulcast, I think this simulcast goes to YouTube for sure, because I know most of you are on YouTube, but also to Facebook, those that are following me just on Facebook. So that's kind of cool too. I wasn't able to do that before, and now it appears that I can kind of spread that stream and go out that way. So that's kind of cool. Let's see. I want to go and let me look at what I put in here. I had some videos in here that I wanted to oh, let me show you this. If you guys want to get a good laugh, I want to show y'all something that's kind of cool. A project that me and a friend of mine are working on. If any of you guys live in a neighborhood that has a homeowners association, you will totally get this. But we are launching another YouTube channel called HOAPD. That stands for Homeowners Association Police Department. It's really, really making fun of HOAs and their enforcement officers. So I'm going to play this real quick, just kind of showing off the video capability that I have now. And I want you guys to check this out. This is actually pretty cool. Let's see here. I got to get this right. All right, here we go. All right, this one is called The Beginning.
So hot. 17 job interviews in 2 days. Not a goddamn bite. Miles alone. Back down the street. Wait a minute. Entry-level HOA compliance officer job.
The Dickwood Compliance Officer.
Want to spend occasional holidays with your family? Yeah.
Where we'll make even your wildest dreams come true.
Think of all the things you'd expect from any company, like competitive pay, medical, dental, vision, 401k with company matching, life insurance, short and long-term disability. These are not things that Dickwood supplies.
We believe you deserve to be challenged in your role in order to truly appreciate it.
Company vehicle probably provided at some point.
Monday through Friday, mostly weekends.
Fairly consistent pay.
Free ink pens.
Must be able to walk, ride, sit, or stand all day.
Valid driver's license. Proof that you have one.
Knowledge of conflict resolution techniques at a proficient level. Yes.
Knowledge of conflict resolution.
Join the Dickwood family today.
Dickwood Compliance Officer.
Daddy's coming home.
All right, guys, that's the first episode. What we're intending to do is put out some episodes that will be funny, making fun of people, kind of pushing the limits. We're not trying to be politically correct in any kind of way. We're just trying to have a little bit of fun with it, enjoy ourselves, and hopefully make some people laugh along the way. It's just a little bit of fun side project there, and I'm just looking forward to it. I'm going to play another one. We actually have our second, if you want to call it, episode that we put out yesterday, and I'll play that before we get out of here. But if you guys want to follow the channel, it's HOAPD. On YouTube. It is a YouTube channel. We're also on Instagram. I don't think we've put much out there yet. Again, we've just launched this like a week ago. And we do have a Facebook page also. So if you guys want to follow those and keep up, our intention is to put a video out once a week. And it's going to get kind of rough. It's going to, we're bleeping out the curse words, but we're not including curse words. So it's going to be some real life stuff and be kind of funny. It's poking fun basically at people who take themselves too darn serious. We see it in every aspect of our lives. I feel like there's somebody who has a freaking ounce of power or authority, and they absolutely abuse it. It goes straight to their heads, and they can't cope with it appropriately. I don't know if it's youth. Obviously, I did stupid things the younger I was. I look back on some of the things I did, and I was like, why did I ever do that? But nevertheless, I think that our biggest thing is we're poking fun at the fact that people in that homeowners associations network take themselves way too seriously, and we're going to have fun with it. If you notice the neighborhood that we're working in is called Dickwood Subdivision. So actually Dickwood Township is what it's going to be called. So anyway, we're going to have fun with it. So hopefully you guys would get a chance to check it out. I have a feeling that most people who are associated with an HOA in any kind of way are going to totally relate to HOAPD, totally relate to it. Because everyone who's seen any of the videos so far, like, dude, that's my HOA right there. Okay. I got to get used to this new software. Let me find my topics. I want to go into, this is kind of neat, but you got to bear with me on this. I got to figure out how to make it work. I can even split screen and show stuff on my computer. So let me do that real quick. Give me 1 second, guys. I got to kind of fix all this and get it back right again. This is a really cool feature. That's why I want to get this right. So here we go. Now, as you guys can see, I can actually go in here and show what I'm looking at on my computer screen while I'm talking to you guys about it. What I've pulled up here, now we're getting into the meat of this whole live stream. I apologize for wasting so much of you guys' time for the other stuff that we were talking about, but I wanted to let me go back on this one. As you guys may or may not heard or have heard, there's 4 dead after an Iowa State Park shooting earlier today, just a little while ago. And I don't know the details on this yet. So I felt like we could go see 3 family members were shot and killed while camping in an eastern Iowa State Park Friday. The suspected gunman died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. This sounds like a murder-suicide situation. This is probably not a, quote, mass shooting. Officers responded to reports of the shooting 6:30 a.m. Oh, a.m. Friday. I didn't realize it was that early. I thought it was later in the day. 3 victims were, 3 victims were related. Let's see. Here's a 7 p.m. update at Bluff Lake Catfish Farm Restaurant, which is so close to the park that various number. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just reading along with this. See, there's no real data on this right now. I just saw this as I was about to come on, and I wanted to make sure that we covered some of this stuff because that's one thing that I'm attempting to do my best is get data out and information as quickly as possible. Let me go to a couple of videos. If you guys have or have not seen these videos from this week, here are a couple videos that I've put out that I would like to go over real quick. Real quick before we go into that, can you guys, if you don't mind, once this video starts, if you cannot hear the audio, please let me know, okay? This is a video of me calling Nancy Pelosi's office to talk to her about HR 1808. This guy completely cut me off. What an ass. I pay this guy's freaking salary. This is David Cicilline, the guy who really thought that putting a stabilizing brace on a rifle would turn it immediately into an automatic rifle and a bump stock. This is my favorite one. So that's pretty much it on that. I wanted you guys to see what I think it's so very important that we hit these people. Oh gosh, was there no sound? I am so sorry, guys. I apologize. I just wasted what 5 minutes of you guys' life. I'm sorry. So I will just post the link to this video in the comment section of this. I will figure out what I did wrong there. Again, just experimenting with this new software tonight, and this is an actual live run with it. So that is my bad. Clearly, I do not see. I mean, it doesn't say that you can choose audio, but clearly it's somewhere. Anyway, that's my bad. My bad. I do apologize for that. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about was, let's see. Oh, HR1808. All right. There's a lot of reports going on out there right now about HR1808 and whether or not that's the quote assault weapons bill, if you will, that they're tossing around right now in Congress. Now, if you guys haven't seen the two videos that I put out in the last 2 days, it was along the same lines of what I just showed. You got to watch them. You know, I don't have a lot of love or respect for anybody in Congress. These folks, okay, if I don't know something about something, I will at least do a layman's level of research. And what I mean by that is it that hard to just type in Google? Is that really that hard? These people in Congress, and I'm talking about both parties, the level of research that they do is absolutely pathetic. And they have staffs. I don't have a staff. Look, to give you a general idea. Okay, I'm going to show you two things. Hang tight. I was cleaning up my office today. I want you to see this. This is my research that I do, and I have no problem killing trees. These are the research documents that I have printed out over the last, I don't know, month and a half. Probably about a 2-inch thick stack of paper right here. Double-sided, by the way. Well, I say that. These aren't articles of organization. That's not right. Hang on. Let me pull that out. I'm not trying to be deceptive here. That articles of organization, you guys will be excited about this. Those of you that know me, I am now a proud dealer for Spartan Armor, body armor, because I love those guys. But most of my papers are going to be printed on front and back. I do that to try to conserve ink and paper. And then, speaking of topics that I'm not aware of and that I know absolutely nothing about, that are way outside of my wheelhouse, you guys are going to get the first peek of this. This is a video that's coming out tomorrow that will absolutely blow you guys' minds. And this video will likely, I think, explode. This is my research right here on the pharmaceutical industry. It's not on pharmaceuticals, though. It's on firearms. That's coming out tomorrow. That's part of my research. The rest of it's in the house. My point is, if I don't know something about something, I freaking research it. I print the stuff out. I grab my highlighters, my ink pen. I make notes. I do everything I can to learn and disseminate decent information that can at least be consumed at a third grade level, maybe, hopefully above. When you have the likes of David Cicilline and Lucy McBath sitting up there in committee talking about and showing posters that just highlight a stabilizing brace on an AR pistol, and they sit up there and tell you over and over and over again how this makes this an automatic weapon and this makes this a bump stock. Guys, that is so frustrating to me, because I want to be in that room. I want to be in that room and tell them, hold on, that's not even remotely accurate. You got to do better than this. And now, granted, Massey from Kentucky, he tried his best. How this guy kept his cool, I have no idea. But look, this would be like me saying that if you take a pickup truck, a two-wheel drive pickup truck, and put a camper on it, now you've just created a four-wheel drive. And the reason why that's a good analogy, in fact, I didn't come up with that. One of the viewers did. One of the viewers made that comment on the video, that if you put a camper on a pickup truck and made it into four-wheel drive, it's the exact same concept and a great analogy, because you're taking something cosmetic. Yeah, I know a camper serves a function, and so does a stabilizing brace, but it's more cosmetic, right? I mean, in other words, mechanically, it's not changing how it works. It just changes what you can do with it, but it doesn't change how it actually functions. In other words, when you put a camper on a truck, yeah, you can do things with it, but it doesn't change the function of the motor. The motor is going to run exactly the same, just like putting a stabilizing brace on an AR-15 or a pistol does not change the functionality of the trigger mechanism of the trigger pack. All that functions the same, not a least bit changing anything. And to have these people sit up there and talk about this, that's how it, and stick to their story. You know, hey, Massey is, I believe, an MIT graduate. I'm going to be real honest right here, okay? I'm not the smartest guy in the world, and I know that. But I'm confident enough to enter into somebody's circle and talk to them, but I know my limitations. I know when to shut up. I know when I've reached the pinnacle of my intelligence. And I know whenever I'm up against somebody who is way, way outgunning me as far as intelligence goes. David Cicilline and Lucy McBath too. Lucy McBath, I believe she believes what she's thinking. I don't think Cicilline believes it totally, but I think he thinks he's right. But the fact that he sticks to his guns 4, 5, 6 times and argues this point to an MIT graduate, and that MIT graduate is literally explaining to him the functionality of how a bump stock works versus a stabilizing brace, if you don't know anything about a particular topic and somebody on the other side is schooling you on it, there's a polite way to bow out and say, I'm not going to discuss this anymore, and maybe move on to another topic. But these jackasses double down on this over and over and over again. And that absolutely drives me nuts, because it makes me think how they view the voting public. In other words, they see the voting public as so stupid that they can sit up there and say whatever they want and not risk being reelected. They're not worried about that. They feel like they still got it in a bag. In other words, I know they don't want to lose their seat. Ego, power, and the fact that they can insider trade and become millionaires based off of a salary of $174,000 a year, that's the things that drive them. They don't care about the American people. They don't care about you. They don't care about their neighbor. They probably don't care about many members of their own family. It's the money they can make by insider trading. It's the lifetime benefits that they get just for serving. It's the influence they get. It's the free stuff. It's the free car they get from the guy down the road over there that works it into a deal. You buy a car, I'm going to give you 3. It's that kind of stuff. These guys get everything. So they don't care about you, the Constitution, the country, their neighbors, the next state over, the state that they're representing. They don't care about any of that. Do not show me one and tell me that they do. I truly don't believe that. I feel like every one of them that makes it to DC gets corrupted, and they're in it for the same reason everybody else is in it at that point. That's why I'll never seek any kind of public office, because I feel like it's a very corrupting thing. I'm the kind of person that has relatively strong willpower. I don't have a whole lot of vices. I mean, if I had to stop drinking beer tomorrow, I'll stop drinking beer tomorrow. It's not a big deal to me. So I don't think that I could be corrupted in Washington, D.C. But I have seen good people go to Washington, D.C. and turn into the same swamp monsters that everybody else is over there. So it makes me think that it's a powerful thing. It's a exchange of dopamine and serotonin in the brain that I've probably never experienced. So I don't want to experience it, because I don't want to risk being just like they are. But you see that, and it just sickens you, because they are viewing the American people as absolute dumbasses. They truly believe that they can say and do whatever they want, and nothing is going to matter, because they feel like the American people are so stupid, like Cicilline and McBath, that it doesn't matter that they're wrong. It doesn't matter, because they know that their voting constituents will not Google, they will not research, they will not try to find out the truth. I can promise you, McBath is, I think, Georgia, and I think David Cicilline is Rhode Island. I would be willing to bet that their constituents who have put them in office, not a single one of them has done any kind of research online or elsewhere, or even just walking into your local gun shop and going, man, does a stabilizing brace really make my gun fully automatic? I'd be willing to bet nobody has done that. So maybe Cicilline and McBath are right. Maybe most of the voting public is that stupid. It floors me to see them with the level of arrogance that they sit up there and display to us. To me, it's so disrespectful. I'm not a violent person, but I want to shake them. I want to shake them, because I feel like they're in a freaking trance or something, because they're just totally out of it. I'm embarrassed. Look, I said it in my video. I was embarrassed to be a human being. I was embarrassed to be an American watching David Cicilline argue a point that 100 million Americans know is not right. I mean, as much as I dislike the guy, I felt sorry for him, because he looked so stupid. That would be like somebody telling you that water isn't wet, and you just look at them like, what? And you look around the room, because you're like, somebody's jacking with me. This is a joke. That he can't possibly be serious. But he was serious. The other thing I want to talk about, I could talk about David Cicilline and Lucy McBath all day long because they're absolutely stupid. And maybe they're smarter than me and they figured it all out. And that's why they're where they are. And they're always going to be there. And I'm going to be where I'm at because they figured it out and I haven't. But if that's the case, I'm going to stay right here. The next thing I want to talk about, I'm going to pull some of your comments up there. That was funny. Yeah. I got to post this. Where's that at? This is true. We have a senator here in Louisiana, Senator Kennedy, who is a good guy. And Senator Kennedy, when he ran, I'm going to be very honest. I try to be as truthfully as honest as I can. When Kennedy ran, God, if you can go back and pull up any old video, guys, Kennedy seemed like the dumbest person in the room when they were running. Oh my gosh. He seemed absolutely ignorant. He seemed too old for the job. He seemed like a goofy old man. I couldn't believe that was our choice. There were like 4 or 5 guys in a debate, and he was kind of an embarrassment. So my point is, I was no fan of Kennedy as he rolled into the Senate. That man has so much impressed me since then. So much so that I went to his staff. I actually was at the Louisiana Republican GOP convention a few weeks ago in Lafayette, Louisiana. And I had a booth down there for Gun Owners of America and for my book. And I made my way over to Kennedy's booth and I gave him one of my books and I signed it and I apologized. And I told them, everybody in the booth, including him, that I apologized because I underestimated him as a person and that I was so proud to have him as my senator. Now, Cassidy, on the other hand, our other senator, absolute garbage. Until my dying breath, I will make sure that man never holds another office in the state of Louisiana. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's tax assessor, dog catcher, whatever it is. I will find that man and hunt him down and make sure that wherever he is, he never gets elected to another position. He will not win senator a second time in Louisiana, and he thinks he's going to be our governor. He will not be governor either. I will do everything I can to see to it that he doesn't do that. So, yes, you're right. Senator Kennedy is a good guy. Now, at what point does Kennedy get corrupted? Is Kennedy so old that it doesn't get to him? That's possible. I mean, it's possible that I'm going to tell you the most dangerous people are the people who get in there in their 30s, 40s, and 50s because they're wanting to ride it out and stay there for the rest of their lives. That's the ones we have to worry about. Kennedy is one of those kind of guys that doesn't have a whole lot of years left. So I think he wants to do the right thing. But the people who have been in there for 20 or 30 years and they're as old as Kennedy are so corrupted, they have lost the desire to do the right thing a long time ago. So Kennedy came in late enough in his career where I think he really is still a good person and genuinely so. And I hope that doesn't change. But the tools are there to corrupt him. Let me just say that. He could be corrupted at any moment. But for now, let's give him his kudos because I feel like he's actually a decent guy. Let's see. Oh, the ATF. If you guys have not had a chance to watch the ATF video that I put out, I was quick on the draw on this video. It was one of the first ones that got my hands on this video, and it's from an inside source that I have. Man, I got this video, and it was a video of 2 ATF agents and 1 Delaware state trooper going to this man's house who had made 7 gun purchases from January until now. I don't know if they didn't realize that the Ring camera was capturing all of the audio and, of course, the video. But they came there and said that because the man had bought X amount of guns, 7 guns in that 7-month period of time, that he wound up on some kind of a multiple gun list. If you'll remember, Joe Biden has been ranting and raving about how he was going to take care of rogue gun dealers and how he was going to take care of the straw purchases. they're basically trying to create boogeymen so that they can say we fixed the problem, kind of like the economy. I mean, they ditched the economy by creating their virus, and now that everybody left the workforce and then they came back, they're like, oh look, we have record jobs. Same thing. They create a problem, then they fix their own problem, and then they pat themselves on the back for it. So that's what they're doing here with the ATF. They're trying to gin up stories of people who might be doing something wrong, like FFL dealers, for instance. If you're not crossing your T now, they want to revoke your FFL license and say, see, we took care of these rogue gun dealers. It's not a rogue gun dealer. Somebody who filled out the form didn't cross their T. They're literally doing that. So in this case, in this video that I put out, the ATF and a Delaware State Trooper are trying to get this guy to show them guns that he's purchased over the last 7 months, because he bought 7 guns in 7 months. And they're saying, we want you to show us that you have these guns as proof that you're not a straw purchaser and you're not purchasing these to sell to other people. They can't do that. They absolutely can't do that. They have no grounds to do that. They can go do that if they want to. And if the person wants to volunteer their information, they can. But they have no jurisdiction to do that. They'd have no right to do that. You have to come to my house with a warrant. And I don't blame the guy that they went to, because this is a new scenario, a relatively new scenario. Now I think most people are aware of it. I think they'll be met with a whole lot more opposition if they go to somebody else's house today. But they essentially went to this man's house and somewhat bullied him, rattled his feathers, got him to feel like, I mean, they show up in tactical vests with their sidearms on the side and all that kind of stuff. So this guy's intimidated, he's like, oh, okay. So he shows them a rifle. He shows them 1 out of the 7 guns that he had purchased, and they were satisfied with that. My point is, they don't have a constitutional right to do that. If you feel like that man has done something wrong, or that man needs to be investigated, you investigate him within the bounds of the law. You get a warrant from a freaking judge, and you go to his house and you ask him politely if you can see. And if he doesn't, then you tell him we're going to see anyway, because we got a warrant. But they went to this man's house with a stack of papers and said, we show that you have this gun, and this gun. We want to make sure that you still have them. Well, what if he didn't have them? What if he decided out of those 7 guns that he bought, he didn't like 4 of them and he sold them to friends? What would have happened? Seriously. What if he would have told those guys, man, out of those 7 guns, I only have 3 of them left? What if he'd have said, I have none of them left, and had legitimately sold all 7 of them to somebody else? Look, I'm not going to say his name because he may be watching. There is a friend of mine that shops at the same local gun store that I shop at here in the Southwest Louisiana area. He's an older gentleman, about 10 or so years older than me, probably maybe more than that. And I've actually bought, at least 1 gun from him. He's one of those kind of guys that he's retired. He's got retirement money, not rich, but he's got, retirement coming in. His hobby is guns. His hobby is firearms. So he buys a new gun. If he doesn't like it, he sells it. It might be 2 weeks after he's purchased it, but he sells it. Just don't like it. Doesn't fit me. Doesn't shoot good. Something like that. Gets rid of it, offloads it. It's not a straw purchase. He shot it once and decided he didn't like it. I will bet. I just talked to him yesterday. No, it was today. I saw him in there. I bought a scope buy from right on that I'm putting on a Ruger 6.5 Creedmoor. I brought it by there, and they're setting it for me. Spoke to him. He just sold a gun, talking about how he got it and didn't like it and got rid of it. What if he were the one who had gotten visited? Oh, sir, we show here that, I'm not exaggerating when I tell you this. This is probably true. Sir, we show here that you purchased 10 guns this year. I'll bet you he has. Probably more, but I'd say 10 is a safe one. How many do you still have? There's a very good chance this guy, and I almost say his name, but I don't want to. There's a very good chance that he says, I don't have any of those guns left. I sold them all because they sucked. I didn't like any of them. Is that against the law? Is it against the law to buy a product legally and to turn around and sell it legally? Because in the state of Louisiana, you can legally sell a firearm to anybody else without a background check. You don't even have to do a bill of sale if you don't want to. So what would have happened to him? Would they have said, nah, we think you're a straw purchaser? Would they have cuffed this old man? That's what bothers me about this. You talk about a slippery slope. It's worse than a slippery slope. You were trying to set precedent where there should be no precedent set. There's no reason for you to be on this man's porch asking him if he's got 7 of the guns he bought in the last 7 months. Has he done anything wrong? If he's being investigated for a crime, bring a warrant. Bring a damn warrant. If he's not being investigated for a crime and he's not a suspect, get off his freaking porch. That's not where you should be. I don't care if he's cooperating or not. You've got no right to be there. If you don't have probable cause, get the frick off the man's porch. That drives me absolutely insane, because you know what happens when this one person complies with them and gives them the information that they don't need to have. Then they go to the next person, puffed up a little bit more cocky, because the last guy gave us what we wanted because we bullied him into doing it. So we're going to go bully the next guy twice as hard because we feel like now we're getting a little bit more power. We're getting some authority that we know damn well we don't actually have, but it's presumed authority. And hey, if you give somebody that authority, they're going to take it. And that's what's scary. All these guys are doing is they're getting more and more emboldened, and they go to the next job and they treat the guy even worse. That's what's scary about it. And again, I go back to, look, I'm the kind of guy, I drive over the speed limit, right? You will rarely catch me doing the speed limit, but not 50 miles over the speed limit. I don't break laws. I'm a very law-abiding person. I do things the right way. My family means too much to me to be sitting in jail wishing I hadn't done something stupid instead of being at home with my family. So if somebody comes to my house, I'm going to be as nice as I can about them. If the ATF comes, I'm not going to be one of those guys that tells them pound sand or whatever, but I will smile at them with a sarcastic smile and tell them, you need to come back with a warrant if you have any real business around here. Again, I'm not a badass. I'm not going to run out with a firearm locked and loaded and firing shots at these guys. That's not my style. I'm not going to do that. That's not me. Again, my family means too much to me to do that. But they will know that I consider their actions an absolute joke if they show up and this is, I'm sure ATF is watching. I've been visited by some of the dark suit guys before. It's been a few years, but I've had my visit before. So I know they watch my stuff. So if they're watching right now and they show up, I want them to know I will treat it like an absolute joke, but you ain't getting in my house. You ain't looking at my guns. And if you don't come with a warrant, we can talk as nice and peacefully as we can and have a good laugh, but you ain't getting a look at anything and you ain't stepping a foot in my house. Bring a warrant with your ass or you ain't getting nothing. Simple as that. And that's how it should be, because we cannot give these people the authority that they do not have by law. And that's the problem. They're usurping power that they don't have. It's not theirs to have, to take, to force on anybody. And that absolutely blows my mind that this is what they're doing. This shows that they feel like, you know what this means, right? This is like the kid at school that is doing things knowing damn well he ain't going to get in trouble. This is the ATF doing something that they know nobody's going to tell them squat on. Nobody in the White House, nobody in the Department of Justice, nobody will tell them crap. That's why they're doing it. They're flexing because they can. They're going to absolutely get away with it. And that's what's scary about it. Nobody is pushing back on these people hard enough. And again, I don't mean physically. I don't mean with gunfire. I don't mean violently. That's not what I'm talking about. But you can look them politely right in the eye and go, dude, you really came here without a warrant thinking I'm going to let you look at my stuff? Am I a suspect or not? Am I a suspect in an investigation? If I am, then you do what you got to do and get the right paperwork, and I'll see you when you get back. If I'm not a suspect, bye. It's good seeing you. Nice to know you. Hope your family's doing fine. Get off my property because you don't have a warrant. Super important. Super important. Guys, it's just, we're in a weird time right now where because these people are emboldened like that, I read the comments on my videos and I know what everybody is saying. And I know I see I guess the more charged up language. And I don't suggest that. I really don't suggest that. You can be sarcastic and smile and laugh with these guys. That's probably going to get across to them faster because egos are at play. And when you belittle them with a smile and a snicker and just tell them, dude, do you have a warrant? And they don't. They really do know the law. They know that they have no jurisdiction and they can't do anything. It's more likely they're going to leave that property without any kind of an altercation because let's face it, even if you're right, you're not any good to your family in a freaking pine box. You know what I mean? That's what worries me more than anything is that somebody does the right thing with these agents and they end up getting shot and killed. And nothing happens to the agents that do that. And these guys end up 6 feet under, our people, the good people, and their families are left without a dad, without a mom. You know, that's what's scary to me because people are at wit's end right now, paying so freaking much for gas, groceries, everything else. And on top of that, these guys are harassing you. It's like you want to say, dude, enough is enough. There's people over here right now in my area in Louisiana, I'm sure it's everywhere in the country right now, that are paying double for their electric bill. People who are used to having a $300 electric bill are paying $600 and $700 for it right now. We're not just crapping money out. We ain't printing our own money. The government might print money, but we ain't printing money. We don't have our own press. We have to earn that money. The government can make their own. We have to make, the government can print their own. We have to make our own. So unfortunately, we're not any good to our families laying in a coffin somewhere. So we have to watch what we do and be careful and diligent about it to make sure that we're not doing something stupid because my wife and my kid, and you know, everybody's situation is different. Our families need us. And that's what worries me more than anything is that we are all kind of in a tinderbox. We're all kind of, the stress levels are so high, blood pressure is high and all that stuff. And it's like, everybody's kind of on that tipping point. They're on that level where you boop, you just do like that and they tip over and this boom, it goes off. And that's what scares me more than anything is that we might be that close to that. And I don't want that to happen because I want everybody that's on this chat room to be here next Friday. You know what I mean? So I guess my whole point in all this is be careful. If these guys show up at your door, I may not be the best one to give advice. And I know that I'm not, but you can get your point across by being sarcastic and even a smart ass. That's okay. Don't be violent. You know what? Don't open your door. Just don't open your door. These guys they had garbage uniforms, t-shirts and blue jeans with a tactical vest, but they had, you know, stuff on there. If it's an ATF agent comes to your door, you are not obligated to open that door if he doesn't have a warrant. And if he's talking to you through the door, just tell him, Show me the warrant, I'll open the door. When he doesn't show you the warrant, go turn on Family Feud or get on the internet. Go watch one of my videos on YouTube. But you're not obligated to open that door, and they cannot and will not come in the house. So there's good ways to handle this and just keep yourself out of it. And I'll be honest with you, I'm telling you that, and I'm not the kind of person that would do that. I'm going to open the door. I don't mind telling you that. I'm not going to try to be confrontational, but I'm opening that door. I just want to say my piece. When they come to my door, I'm just going to have to tell them, guys, you ain't getting nothing from me. I mean, if you don't have your warrant, we can shoot the bull for a little bit, but y'all going to have to go. You're not getting anything. You're not coming in my house. So again, I may not be the best person to give advice because I don't follow my own advice, but my best advice would be just don't open the door. Just let them go on about their business. You know, if they want to come flying in through the windows and kick the door in, yeah, whatever. You know, I mean, don't push the limits. Again, think of your family. That's probably the best advice I can give you is when you get to that point where you're getting that tunnel vision, think of your family. Think of your kids, your grandbabies, your wife. Think of all those people. And I think that might make us in some places do a better job at making the right choice. So real quick, guys, before I sign out of here, I want you to know my intent is to do this every single Friday night again, like we used to. Those of you that are new on here, I tend to do this every single Friday night in the past. Have not done that in the last few months. Life changes and things like that have definitely made some changes for me. But hopefully you'll see more of this. My goal is to get this out more and more. And I'm gonna let's see. I'm going to try to post some of these real quick. Let's see. I saw one over here. Southwest Louisiana is a wonderful place to live, but we have our own issues with local government here, just like everywhere else. Yep, absolutely right. That's where I'm at, guys. If you don't know that, that's why it's kind of piqued my interest. Trying to get some of you guys comments in here before I sign off. Timothy Jackson says, I hung a copy of the Constitution and amendments by the side of the door. I will be saying, boys, you best read it and understand the oath that you took. 100%. 100%. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of reminding. And sometimes when you remind them that you know your rights and you know the Constitution, you call their bluff before they have the chance to flex on you a little bit. So good on you for that. That's a great sign. I like that idea. NP Diddy says, stabilizing brace is the only tool that allows some folks the option to even shoot. For example, an amputee with one hand. At that point, this becomes a civil rights issue. It does. And all handicapped people who are being disenfranchised because Cicilline and Lucy McBath do not understand that a stabilizing brace has nothing to do with the functionality of a gun and the mechanics of a gun. Those people should speak out. They should form a class action lawsuit. Personally, I do not think HR 1808, even though it's being marked up, I do not think it's going to pass. Man, it's actually meeting some opposition in the House right now. And there was a chance it could pass the House, but it's meeting opposition right now. So I don't really think it makes it even past the House, but I'm pretty sure once it gets in the Senate that it's not going to go past the Senate. Now, I'm not doing wishful thinking here. I'm still making my phone calls, sending my emails, and doing everything I can to let my congressmen and senators know where I stand on this. But with that being said, anybody out there, those of you that have any kind of a disability where a stabilizing brace benefits you, you should be contacting these people and letting them know that Cicilline and McBath are complete ignorant idiots. And you know what a stabilizing brace does for handicapped people, and you want to make sure that you're not being disenfranchised as a result of it. I will tell you this. As liberal as the ACLU is, the ACLU has not been a friend of conservative people over the years. But I will say this. When somebody is disenfranchised that shouldn't be, the ACLU will fight for you. I'm dead serious. I've seen them come to bat sometimes. Like if you'll remember, during the mask mandates and the vaccine mandates, they came to bat for a lot of people because they felt like people's civil rights were being violated. So people who feel like the stabilizing brace issue is disenfranchising them, They need to reach out to attorneys and the ACLU and get something done about that. Again, personally, I don't think it will come to that, but that thought needs to be out there, and a full-blown class action lawsuit needs to take place in the event that does happen, because you're exactly right. You're not only taking the ability of a handicapped person away to be able to hunt, which has nothing to do with the Second Amendment, but you're taking their right to protect themselves and their family completely away from them, because they can't operate a firearm properly without that device to help them. And I'm not stupid. I know that stabilizing braces, 90-something% of them, have nothing to do with handicapped people, or not purchased by handicapped people. I get that. But you can't throw the baby out with the bathwater. If they benefit one handicapped person, it shouldn't be outlawed. Period. And not one person gains a single ounce of benefit by having a stabilizing brace on an AR pistol. Not one. In fact, it's one of the most uncomfortable firearms to shoot. You guys know that. Yes, you can shoot them. I've got some. I've got freaking Daniel Defense 300 Blackout sitting right over here with an SB Tactical SA3 brace on it. Do I wish it had a stock on it? Yeah. Yeah, I do. It would shoot better. I mean, I love SB Tactical's braces, but if I had a firm stock on it, yeah, it would shoot better. So I think that we need to be, and you know what, when all this is over with, it wouldn't be a bad idea for the handicapped folks out there to still push with the ACLU and go, look, these people have shown their hand. They've shown me what they intend to do. We need to nip it in the bud now, and maybe start fighting back before they have a chance to come at you again. Okay, real quick, like James Crash, thank you for showing up. Mark, let's see, Mark A. Steeler, Ting Ting, let me get this one right. Nekomiath, Johnny Farrar, Alicia Wolf, Minnie Trout still in the room. Thank you. James Crash, Reese Watson, Turaglass, Tim Pavlov, Leapin' Lepin, Warrior Class 3, Chewing Bubblegum. Let's see, Gold Fishy Man, Crazy Uncle Bob, J. McKay 6-Man 1, Super Meat 10, Douglas Phillips, Warrior Class 3. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Naked HD is not legitimate. I'll have to get rid of that one. Vincent Boogaloo. Oh gosh, Mark A. Steeler, Colin L. Let's see. Again, W. Hayes 0903. I can't go through all these. There's too many of you guys out there. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight. Look for more of the Friday night lives that we're going to be doing. I'm excited to do it. I'm going to be doing way more interaction. I'm going to figure out why I screwed up earlier and did not have audio on that video that I played, because what I want to do is be able to recap some of the videos that I put out and do highlights of, not showing the whole videos. Actually, this one that I showed you guys earlier, I took a snippet out of a video to show you some of the phone calls that I've made to some of these representatives. But I want to recap some of the videos that I put out and take some of the videos that are out on the internet. I wanted to show you guys the ATF guys that were bullying this man, but I didn't want to mess up the audio again and not let you hear it, because that, again, I feel bad that I did that. So my apologies on that. I'll have it better for next week. I'll have it ironed out. If you guys see that I'm testing this software over the weekend, don't fret. I'm going to be testing it, so it may send you a notification that I'm working on it, because you kind of have to do that in order to test it. So if you see a notification, I'm trying to put test in the description or something, so you know that it's not an actual live stream, that I'm simply testing the software. So my apologies if you get that kind of a notification this weekend. Guys, as always, please like, share, and subscribe. If you don't mind, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed already, subscribe. Click the bell so you get notifications. Share some of my videos with your friends and neighbors and all that, because that creates a boost in the algorithms and all that, and it gets to where we can put more videos out there. Because again, my intent is to get way more involved in the gun community than what I already do, and put more content out on a regular basis. I'm looking to do 1 to 2 videos at least on the very minimum a day right now. So again, guys, thank you so much for joining me on a Friday night. If you're drinking a beer, please don't drive. Please don't drive. Hopefully you're already home. If you're going anywhere, please get a ride, call Uber or, somebody else to bring you. Just get a ride. don't drive. I want to see you guys back here next Friday night. I don't want to see anybody get in a bind or anything like that. Again, it's one of those things where we got to look after each other, because unfortunately nobody else, especially the government, is looking out for us. So let's watch each other's backs and make sure that we're doing the right things whenever we can. And that means not drinking and driving. I am literally 50 feet from my bed. I will be hanging out. I'm going to go lay down with my son for a minute, put him to bed, and then I'm going to go to bed myself. So I'm done. I'm done for the night. It's good talking to everybody. Enjoy the chat room. I can't wait to go back and scroll back through the chat and see what you guys were talking about. It means a lot to me that you guys would spend the Friday night with me. It means a lot. So guys, we will see you hopefully next Friday night. Have a great weekend. We will see you then.